LifeClub with Tashima Jones, the podcast, brought to you by Tashima Jones Media. Keep in mind that this content is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Welcome to another episode of LifeClub with me, Tashima Jones. Today, we will be speaking about decluttering your mind, body, and your emotions. Similar to spring cleaning your office or your home, our mind, body, and emotions can use a bit of tidying up from time to time. Some would even agree this should occur on a regular basis. Getting rid of the old, used, and unprofitable thoughts is a great way of resetting your mind, which ultimately impacts your emotions and your physical body. Oftentimes, we focus more on the external than we do on the internal without recognizing that what's happening on the inside heavily influences all that happens on the surface. Decluttering the mind, emotions, and the body are all connected, and the goal is to provide some info and tips on making it a little bit easier for you to accomplish cleaning up in your personal life. As always, when we know the definition of a thing, we are better equipped to using it properly. Today's word is declutter. To declutter is to remove clutter from a room, space, or area. And clutter itself is defined as things lying in heaps or crowded confusion. This definition alone is super relatable to how one may feel when making decisions or seeking to invite a new thing into their lives. We need to make room. And that's essentially what decluttering means, to make room by getting rid of that which no longer serves us. And in some cases, these may very well be things that were once helpful, while in others, you may find things, thoughts, and pent-up emotions that never truly served you anyway. Okay, we are going to start with the mind. Remember, declutter is making space by getting rid of the crowded confusion. You may be seeking to make space for more peace, more joy, or more compassion. You may require space for a new level of purpose or even a life partner. No matter what it may be, mindset has a major impact on the process. Consider the mind to be the motherboard of your emotions and your body. Now, a motherboard is the part of a computer where all of the other parts connect. Your thoughts impact your emotions, and your emotions impact your physical body. Decluttering the mind has the power to shift all that's connected to it. One of the easiest ways to declutter your mind is to assess your media intake. This includes conversations, print, digital, film, music, and social media. Truly reflect on the images, shorts, and sound bites your mind is absorbing on a regular basis. Then begin to remove what isn't profiting your soul or your life activity. Decluttering really does take a level of honesty and self-respect. Next, focus on your thought life. Consider the thoughts you may have had for 1 year, 5 years, and even 10 years. These thoughts can be found in what is called a thinking pattern. Thinking patterns are the way in which one processes information on a consistent basis. Think of them as the routes you take that bring you to a specific conclusion on specific matters. It is an attitude towards something. Some unfruitful thinking patterns include emotional reasoning, catastrophizing, and personalization. Healthy thinking patterns include hope, which is the expectation of good, the winner's mentality, and having a mindset that's focused on the greater good. Again, how we think or what we believe on a regular basis impacts our emotions, decision-making, and behavior, which ultimately impacts our experiences and how events themselves are experienced. As you discover your personal thinking patterns, begin to remove those that don't yield healthy, desirable results and start to replace them with new ways of thinking that actually do. This can be accomplished through meditation. Remember, meditation is not ridding yourself of thought, but focusing on a thought long enough until it becomes part of your thinking. Up next, we have emotions. Emotions have three parts. They are thinking, feeling, and acting. There is a psychological component, a chemical reaction, and a behavioral response. I'd like to say that all emotions find themselves under the umbrella of love or fear. Some emotions that derive from love are compassion, joy, and peace. A few emotions that are rooted in fear are shame, anxiousness, and panic. Each of these emotions are comprised of a thought, a feeling, and a behavioral response. Emotions are essentially ignited by a thought and result in an action. After considering the mind, decluttering the emotions can be found in simply not reacting to them. If your emotions tend to cause you to behave in unproductive ways, taking a moment to pause and consider how you feel is super beneficial. Emotions are indicators, not dictators. They are informing you about the nature of your last thought or your most recent point of meditation. Too often, many are controlled by their emotions without them really considering what's causing them to act. The more you pay attention to what you are feeling, the more aware you become of your thoughts and your behaviors. Again, don't be so quick to act on the emotion you're experiencing. Take time to assess what thought it's attached to first. In addition, understand that emotions aren't always rooted in thoughts based on truth and love. They can very well be the result of fear or perceived danger, not an actual threat. This is why pausing before acting is so beneficial. Remember, emotions consist of thinking, aka what you say to yourself, chemical responses, or what you feel in your body, and behavior, which is what you do or don't do as a response. Knowing this can support in assessing your emotions overall. Now, on to the body. Hopefully, you can see the overlap between the mind, emotions, and the body. Our physical body is impacted by our emotions. The chemical responses to a thought can flood our bodies with dopamine, which is linked to reward. And on the other hand, cortisol can be a byproduct of our thinking. And that's a hormone connected to stress. And stress in the body over an extended period of time is not ideal. So in addition to minding your thoughts and emotions, eating healthier foods, and even fasting are two additional ways of decluttering the body. Similar to how media consumption impacts the mind, food inevitably impacts the body. Small shifts in drinking more water and changes in how you eat through removing processed foods and replacing them with fruits and vegetables can make a huge difference in the long run. Let's not forget the power of breathing. Literally, calming and slowing yourself down to take a deep breath and even regulating how you breathe is so vital and so important, not only to your body, but how you think and process emotions. It is one way to flush out all three parts at the same time. Alrighty, here is your life work. Dedicate 10 minutes a day for the next 3 days to focus on decluttering your mind, emotions, and body. Focus on one area per day. In your journal, make 2 lists, one for thinking patterns that tend to yield profitable results. The other will include the thinking patterns that yield unprofitable results. Then seek ways to maintain your healthy thinking patterns while considering ways to replace unhealthy thinking patterns. In addition, consider putting into practice this episode's suggested ways of decluttering your mind, emotions, and body. Be sure to journal your experience. This is a great time to take a nice deep breath, pause, and to decide to be intentional about how you move forward and navigate the rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of LifeClub with me, Tashima Jones. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you are here with me, and for that I am truly grateful. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast on whatever platform you are tuning in from, and you can also find more short form content on YouTube, like our 1-minute meditations at Tashima Jones Media. I also invite you to visit tashimajones.com for more information on life coaching sessions, books, articles, and how to join LifeClub. Until next time, remember your greatness. Talk soon. You've been listening to LifeClub with Tashima Jones. Thank you for tuning in.